Good. All right, so this is zoning board of appeals, Tuesday, July 2nd, 2024. We'll call new business. So first up, Joel Padnow and Judy Hofstein.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. My name's Joseph Levesque. I'll be representing the Pat News tonight as they're away in Europe for a wedding.
They're in Europe for a wedding.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did they send something to the zoning board giving you authority to speak in front of the board tonight? Do I have something in writing from them?
Yes, they did.
Okay, great.
There's emails back and forth.
All right, so do you want to tell us what the applicant is seeking and why the board should grant relief to them?
Yes, sir. So the proposal that you have before you is, I believe it's 64 Lincoln Point Road. The owners are the Pat Nudes. They currently reside in Montclair, New Jersey. They're looking to reconstruct a new dwelling at 64 Lincoln Point and make a permanent residence here in Charlton, Massachusetts. Currently, there's a two-story cottage located on the lot, and essentially what they want to do is they would like to remove the existing two-story cottage and build a one-story, larger footprint, one-story dwelling that fits rather well, in my opinion, on the lot. We meet all of the setbacks. We meet the lot coverage requirements. Again, it is a little bit of a larger footprint, but it is a single-story house. If you know that area at all, it is sort of a peninsula, and the grades on both sides of the road are rather even. And being a one-story, proposed one-story structure, there would be no views impairment to anybody either adjacent or to the other side. I think if you really know the area, the way it kind of lays out, everyone kind of has their own lake view, on the rear side of the house, facing the water. So, the proposed structure really isn't ever going to be an impairment to any of the adjacent properties from that regard. Really, that's about it. They really just want to put a new structure there.
So you meet all the setbacks on this lot, huh?
Correct. It is. It's actually a really nice rectangular shaped lot. It's rather wide.
Yeah.
I think it does lack a little bit of area, and it does lack some frontage, if I recall correctly. But it's actually a decent sized lot, and we kind of just want to put a sort of a rectangular shape right in the middle of the property.
So the street will be a level, and then it will be down a level going towards the lake. Is that the way it's looking?
I don't.
So you'll have two levels facing the lake, but you'll have one level, like the top level will be street level.
Yes. The grade does from the
grade goes
road to the
down.
lake. It does drop off a little bit. It's
Yeah.
not that significant in this case, but it is probably close to 6 to 8 feet of a drop. So yeah, like you said, as you described, adjacent to the existing roadway, it would just be a single story view from the road. Again, I think that like I said, the proposed footprint is larger than the existing footprint, but there is at least two other residents. I forget the address off the top of my head, but I did look. There's two other houses about the same square footage in that neighborhood, and I believe those are actually two-story dwellings.
So the house
they're just looking for a
that's
single.
there now is a two-story cottage. It's a four-season cottage.
It is a four-season cottage, correct?
How old? When was that structure built?
I don't have that year off the top of my head.
Okay.
It is definitely older.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a
like-
it's a fieldstone foundation. So
Yeah.
it's
So it's
older.
at least before the '60s.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. You guys have any questions? You're just looking for a special permit.
Yeah, we're not asking
In
for a
terms of-
variance.
in
We're not
terms-
increasing any of the nonconformities.
In terms of the neighborhood, how is this gonna fit into the rest of the neighborhood?
I think it fits well. I think
other
there are some
single-story-
other modern houses. I think the other houses that are similar size footprint, but they're actually
Yeah.
2 stories.
Okay.
We're just looking for a 1-story, permit in this case. Right now that lot is I wouldn't say run down, but it hasn't been like maintained recently.
Yeah.
Obviously with the new construction of the house, it's gonna be a nice, well-maintained, manicured
Yeah.
lot that I think will add a lot of value to the neighborhood and appeal.
Okay. Do you guys have any questions? This is a special permit, it's not a variance.
Yeah,
So the proposed new structure or use would have to be no more detrimental to the neighborhood, to be in line with the neighborhood.
okay. So that's what we're looking for when we're considering
Yeah.
a special permit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think if you read the statute, it says substantially more detrimental.
yeah,
Okay. So no hardships, it's just whether or not it fits with the.
right. The variance is the hardship, so we don't have to worry about whether or not they have a hardship or not. That's only if he was gonna be outside the setbacks, but it doesn't look like the proposed structure is gonna be that way.
Yeah, there's no encroachments on any of the current setbacks that are required. It fits right inside the current building envelope.
Right. Jason, Marco, no, any questions, Garrett? Any questions right now?
No?
You wanna call the zoning enforcement officer?
Yep.
Mr. Meskis, we'll call you forward.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Chairman, Kurt Meskis, Building Commissioner, Zoning Enforcement Officer. As Mr. Levesque has indicated, there is an existing, structure on this property, and they seek to remove that structure and replace it with a different structure. There's four from there for you. So as described, Lincoln Point Road, gee, I wonder why they call it a point, it comes to a point at the end.
Yeah.
And it had something to do with the Lincolns, I guess. So you can see number 64, it's on the right-hand side, you know, the lots are similarly sized, they are, larger lots than we're used to dealing with on Glen Echo
Yep.
and South Charlton Shore. Page 2 shows the existing cottage on a wooded lot. If you look to sort of the right-hand side of the picture, you can just see this house is number 62, that's shown on the lower there. That house was added to a number of years ago and remodeled. To the left is 66 Lincoln Point Road, so standing in front of 64, I'm taking a picture of 66, which you can barely see through the trees, so I cropped a picture from the assessor's office of the front of the house, so that's a year-round house. Lights being proposed. 60 Lincoln Point, a little bit further down the road to the right. So almost a 3-story house, got a garage under, and it's a Cape-style house. And 63 Lincoln Point, across the street, similar, year-round, regular-size house. And that's the consistency of that part of the neighborhood. These houses are much larger than the cottages that we usually see around Glen Echo Lake or
Yep.
South Charlton Reservoir.
And they're on bigger pieces of
And
land.
they're on bigger pieces of land. I don't think there's any problem with the septic system or the well on this. That's, outside of your purview, but that's,
Right.
They're gonna have to go to conservation. They're within 100 feet of the wetlands, get that approval. And as you said, the special permit criteria here is the change, alteration, or extension any more detrimental to the neighborhood. I would suggest that, no, it's not.
Not gonna be any
detrimental.
detriment. All right, thank you, Mr. Meskis. Do we have any abutters that wanna have can you come up and state your name for the record
Yes, Wayne Marquis,
and your address?
66 Lincoln Point Road.
Oh.
And, the folks seem to be, fine folks. His sister actually lives on the road and all that. So
Okay.
we're not here to argue anything. I guess, what we'd like, and maybe this isn't the appropriate committee, is just to kind of get some idea of like timetable and hours that they're permitted to do things, and
That
we
would- that
might
would-
want to arrange our schedule for vacation when they're tearing things down.
Right, right. So in terms of the times that they can build, I think there's set times, and that would fall under the Mr. Meskis,
Okay.
the building inspector.
Yeah.
And there are bylaws, I think, that say, like, you can't be out there at, 8, 9 o'clock at night or 6 o'clock in the
Right.
morning, because I'd be pretty pissed as well. Yeah, in the terms of the timetable, that, when they issue a permit, it's however long the permit is good for, they can do it, so. I probably, are you gonna be the general contractor on that?
Not me, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Lucier here.
And Mr. Lucier might have a better idea of like when he's gonna get the permit and in how and when they're gonna start, how long demolition will take, how long construction will take.
Yeah.
You may wanna just take, if we grant a special permit, we have no, that's not, it's outside our area of approval. So you
Yeah.
may wanna just talk to him and find out what
Okay.
their plan is.
Again, we're not
You're not
arguing
here
anything here, we
to-
just wanted to
to-
gather
right.
some information.
Yeah, we appreciate that, appreciate
Okay.
you coming down.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, so do we have any other abutters, members of the public that have anything? Okay. So we'll call anybody from Conservation, Planning Board. We've already heard from the Zoning Enforcement Officer, Town Clerk, Selectmen, Assessors, Board of Health, Tax Collector, Economic Development. Anybody from Dudley Charlton School System, Police, Fire, Library? Anybody have any comments? No comments at all? Gentlemen, do we have any more questions for the petitioner?
No.
Um,
Very cut.
Does anyone want to make a motion just to end the public portion of this application?
My motion.
There's a motion by Marco, second by Jason. All in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carries. I think this is an absolute no-brainer in my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not anymore. This is gonna be, I mean, the cottages probably looks halfway decent, but it's still gonna be an upgrade to the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And it looks like most of the other houses in the neighborhood are a little bit more modern, so. If we're gonna make a vote on this to grant a special permit, then we wanna just, say that the, the house is a dated house that is probably, more than 75 years old. Most of the other houses in the neighborhood have been reconstructed or upgraded in that 75-year period. The demolition and reconstruction of this, on this property would be an upgrade, and it would not be, the alteration and removal and would not be detrimental to the neighborhood in any way. So we just wanna add that in the motion if someone wants to make that. Does anyone wanna make that motion?
Your motion sounded perfect. Can you make the motion? No?
I guess I can make the motion.
I've
So I'd
never
make a
done a
motion
special
to grant a special permit for property located at 64 Lincoln Point Road. Special permits according to the plan submitted with the application. We find that the demolition and reconstruction of a new dwelling would not be more detrimental to the neighborhood on the basis that the existing dwelling is probably at least 75 years old. Most of the properties in this neighborhood have been either remodeled or newly constructed after that time frame, and this would fall in line with the current neighborhood. Is there a second on that motion?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. There's a 20-day appeal period.
Yes,
So
sir.
once she files with the town clerk, there's 20 days. After the 20 days is up, then the permit would fall in place, and you would record that at the Registry of Deeds. You want to record the entire decision, not just the first page. And then after that, you see Kurt, and you can get the permits and take care of what you need to take care of.
Understood, Mr. Chairman, and thank you.
Thank you. All right, so next is, do we have the minutes from the last meeting? Have a good night. Happy 4th of July.
Thank you.
Everyone, does anyone have any comments on the meeting, any changes to the minutes from the last meeting?
I do not see the meeting minutes.
I like she had, she's right here.
Yeah, I haven't had a moment to review them. Did you have a meeting minutes? Oh, okay.
Wait a minute. I will, I completely forgot about this, so I'll have her put on the thing about like slimming down that application for July 16th, so we can kind of get that. Because that's probably,
Well, there's only one thing, at this point, they can't meet, if something came in today, they wouldn't meet the advertising requirements for the 16th.
no, I know that, but we've been talking about the petition, the application that's online, just kind of cleaning it up a little bit, making it a little bit more
I
streamlined.
know Mary had worked on that with you, and I don't, maybe it just hasn't caught up online.
No, we haven't approved one new one yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we have to go over it. I was going through it, and just kinda, it looks like, yeah, Ray wrote that in like 1988 or something like. I don't think that's been updated ever. Or, we just keep, like, every time something changes, we just add to it and never, like, actually look at the whole document. So there's some parts that are kinda repetitive that we can kinda probably streamline a little bit. So I've been working on it, I just didn't get it in. So if you could just put a note that we'll put it on the agenda for July 16th to like review and update, the zoning board application. Does everyone look good on this?
Yeah,
Someone needs to make a motion to approve the minutes as stated.
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes as stated.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. So the minutes are approved.
Can we see do we get a chance to see the revises?
Yeah, I'll have her email it to you before the 16th.
Before that, yeah.
I just like start working on it, and then I'm like, I get distracted, and then
Yeah.
One other question, that this is not on the agenda at all. Do you think it's worth it that we do the Pledge of Allegiance before each meeting? I know some boards do that, some don't. Do the selectmen do that?
The selectmen do, but I don't know of any other board that does. Town meeting does, but I
Yeah.
don't know of any other. I don't know anybody else do that.
No? I went to a conservation meeting in another town, and they did the Pledge of Allegiance. I don't think it's a big deal. Either way, if you guys wanna do it, I'm all for it. If you guys don't wanna do it, I'm okay with that as well. And it's not something we have to decide tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's necessary.
It's up to you guys.
I'm good without.
Yeah, okay.
That's my feeling on it.
Okay. We have no other business? Do we have any other business?
No?
All right, so we'll see you guys on July 16th. You guys will be
July
around?
16th, yeah.
You won't be taking out the urban assault vehicle on that night?
Don't think so.
Okay. So vote to, end the meeting?
I make a motion to end the meeting?
Second? Second by Jason. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
You guys have a nice 4th of July.
You too.
You too.
It's good to see you.